Seems not a week goes by without a story that has those who defend the police and those who don't at loggerheads. And this week was really no exception after officials in North Carolina declined to charge police officers in a shooting death of a black man, saying that it was justified because their lives were in danger. This news comes at a time that reports say police recruiting is down all across the country and that morale is hitting brand new lows among the ranks. Here to weigh in, two men from the smash hit A&E docuseries Live PD. Corporal Garrow Brown from the Richland County Sheriff's Department in South Carolina and K-9 Deputy Mark Pinney of the Pasco County Sheriff's Department in Florida. Welcome to both of you. Garrow, let me start with you if I can. Boy, oh boy, yet again, we have another week where we have another case and we have more people hitting the streets, and now these reports that morale is suffering across the country. I suppose that isn't a surprise if you're a police officer.
No, I'm not surprised. Law enforcement is a hard job to start with. I don't think anybody gets into it. I know I certainly didn't, thinking that it was going to be anything that's easy. When we talk about our first responders, our military, those are tough jobs. You have to make life and death decisions, and even decisions that will affect people's lives, in a split second. Unless you've been through that and had to make that type of decision, it's hard to really understand, how that is. It's tough. It's gotten tougher. So I can understand why, morale would be a little bit down as far as the officers that are already working, and also, recruitment for the younger guys that may have thought about this as a career.
Right.
They might be, thinking, second guessing, now looking
I'm
at
glad you mentioned that. Yeah, you know what, Corporal Brown, I'm glad you mentioned the recruiting. So, Deputy Pinney, welcome to the program. This is your inaugural appearance with us. I'm glad you're joining us. I want to just dovetail off of what Corporal Brown just said, and that is that recruiting is having a tough time right now, right? And let me give you some stats real quickly. So according to some research that we've pulled in Charlotte, the applications are down 26% compared to a year ago. In Des Moines, recruits are down 50%. And in Minneapolis, they saw twice as many officers leave, be it because of retirement or quitting, and that number is also compared to a year ago. This is not just the fact that, people are not maybe wanting to come and join the ranks. This is also stressing out the smaller ranks now, right? Like there's fewer police officers if through attrition they leave and you can't, replenish the ranks. The guys who are there are exhausted, demoralized, and the overtime budget, it must be going up, right?
No, absolutely. And to piggyback off of Corporal Brown with the recruiting, it's a stressful job, stressful environment. You're faced to make a decision, on a spot. So it's hard for us to make those decisions. And not only that, you're coming into a job where you might feel unappreciated, or it might not be enjoyable because of the stressful environment that we're in right now, that, we're faced with at this current time. And it's hard to retain those deputies and officers who have experience. So, and with the new officers that are joining, the ones that do, I applaud those guys because they're coming in now at a very hard time in America to do the job that we have to do. It's not an easy job. And everybody knows that, high morale is used to accomplish the mission of whatever department that you work for. So coming to, a department or any law enforcement agency at a time where morale is low, kudos to that person.
All right, so I want to talk about one important officer of the law who is also, I guess, on bed rest right now, and that's your K-9 yogi, Mark Pinney. Yeah. I think he's with you, but maybe not on camera, or not within the vicinity of the camera. He got heat stroke. Is he okay, your K-9? Okay.
Yeah, so we're down here in Florida. The weather's very hot right now. We were on a call the other day, and he got heat stroke. He was out of the car a little too long, and it's just really hot out that day, and he got heat stroke, had some problems with the kidneys, but he's recuperating now, and hopefully we'll be back on the road soon.
Okay, well, if he wanders into the room, please don't shy away from letting us see him. I'm a big fan of Yogi. And, you know, look, who doesn't love dogs? A small secret I will share with you right now. There is a dog in my studio at all times. I am always cautious to try to keep the barking down, but I think it changes the whole environment. All right, so Garrow Brown, I want to ask you about some of the big news that happened in Elizabeth City this week. I'm sure that you guys, as well as officers all across the country, followed this case of Andrew Brown. No relation, I should mention, to you, Garrow Brown. Andrew Brown was in his car when deputies arrived to serve a warrant, and the DA in the case, having not showed the body cam video publicly for quite some time, showed it to the family but not to the public, decided to show excerpts of it, and then announced this week that there would be no charges for the officers involved because they allege that Andrew Brown used his vehicle as a deadly weapon and charged at the officers. Showed some snippets where an officer, I think, went up over the hood of the car, another one had to jump out of the way, and a third one had to move his car lightning fast to get out of the way of being hit. Here is a quick piece of sound from the DA making that announcement this week. Let's take a look.
I saw law enforcement officers approach Mr. Brown and give him commands. I saw Mr. Brown refuse those commands and employ his vehicle to get away, and at that point put officers' lives in danger.
So that, you know, there were some who said, well, that's the right decision. We saw some of the pictures, and there were others who said, what do you mean? We saw edited pictures, just what, you know, the police wanted to show us, but not the whole thing. And I'd love to get your take on the whole notion of transparency. Would it not have helped just to release all of the pictures and sort of settle people down?
Well, you know, Ashley, this is a hard topic to really make a fully informed decision on, because, you know, like you mentioned, we didn't get to see the whole thing. I believe I watched the video probably 20 times, and I saw I think it's about 44 seconds of the body cam, and, you know, you saw officers fully, you know, in uniform, yelling out commands. You know, there was no dispute about why they were there, who they were. And we saw the suspect, you know, back up, punch the gas. You saw officers, you know, diving out of the way, you know, possibly getting hit. You know, so, you know, I hate being a Monday morning quarterback, but, you know, to say that any of those officers didn't feel like their life was in danger, you know, I'd be hard pressed to say that, you know, they didn't feel like they were in danger. But to say whether it's justified or not, I'll leave that to the DA. He's the expert, and he got the full video. But, you know, it's hard to say not actually being there or seeing the entire video.
Yeah, and Deputy Penny, boy, people all jump into the fray, don't they? And everybody Monday morning quarterbacks what they think they know about an incident. And even the body cam videos are never really quite what the officers themselves see. But I do want to ask you about the notion that those officers were arriving at a scene where they were informed that this was a habitual felon with a propensity to resist arrest and a propensity to barricade. So if you're given that information, does it totally change the dynamic of how you approach? I mean, these guys came up in a pickup truck in the back of the bed of the pickup truck, and the whole thing happened in a matter of like 40 seconds or so. And I'm just wondering, like, how does it change serving a warrant when you know those details?
Well, like Corporal Brown said, it's, you know, it's kind of hard to see from the video camera itself. You're not there in the present moment. However, these guys that have some sort of threat awareness, they knew this guy's history, the warrant that he had, and, you know, that he's committed violent crimes in the past. Now, for a threshold from, you know, them arriving on scene to the events that took place, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, you know. There's no time frame that is the right time frame. They just reacted to a threat that was presented to them, and whether it's wrong or right, I'm not there in the moment, can't see it, but I have faith that, you know, all law enforcement officers in America are out there doing the right thing. So
Yeah, I want to bring up another case. They just keep coming, right? Like there was another one. It's actually a case from 2 years ago, but the developments came this week. It's out of Louisiana. The case of the shooting death of Ronald Green. He led police officers on a high-speed chase. I have seen you guys having to go through it. The anxiety, the dog barking in the back when you begin that high-speed chase. You can feel the panic and the high-stress environment that a high-speed chase is for officers who do it for a living, So anyway, he led them on a high-speed chase, and then the police told his family that he died when he crashed into a tree, and then the body came out, and it told a different story. So I want to play a little piece of that story and then ask about it on the other side. Take a look.
I'm scared. I'm just scared. Get out. Get out. I'm driving me, Chris. I'm scared. Let me see your hands. Put your hands behind your back. Give me your hands. Put your hands behind your back. Taser. Put your hands behind your back.
So clearly he didn't die when he crashed into the tree, and then it turned out they had to change the story and say that he died on the way to the hospital. There was quite a pitched battle. So I do want to ask Corporal Brown, like when that happens, it's not your jurisdiction. This isn't your officers, this is not your partners, but it's someone else's. And right now, the brand of policing in America is taking such a big hit. Does that make you guys frustrated and angry because now that's one of those stories out there that is a chink in your armor?
It does. It does. And I'm pretty sure, Mark can agree that, when you have, specific officers or departments for that matter that don't do the right thing, it kind of casts a shadow on all of us, and it's just the way it is. It's always been that way in law enforcement. It's not I did something wrong or Mark did something wrong. It's always the police did something wrong. So this is another instance where, we talked about transparency earlier. Whether the officer acted in the right fashion or wrong fashion or made a wrong decision, but in good faith, you own up to it, you be transparent with the public and just let it roll from there. So this one is kind of tough to kind of justify, but it's just one of those things that we have to deal with.
So it's also one of those things that will often lead to an investigation and a consent decree. And the FBI actually just released some data on consent decrees in the last 2 years. And for those who don't know what that is, it's effectively a ruling whereby local law enforcement agencies have to abide by changes that the federal government has recommended. And so there's data now, and it says that violent crime has spiked in big cities. I want to show you some numbers that come to us again from the FBI. Los Angeles, it's up 61%, Seattle up 27%, New Orleans up 20%, Cleveland up 13%. I do want to make sure everyone knows that there have been reductions, though, in some violent crime in cities with less than 50,000 people. I have just about a minute left, and Deputy Pinney, I'd love to get your thoughts on this whole notion that consent decrees are supposed to be the panacea, the thing that fixed everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that kind of goes hand in hand with retaining some of these experienced officers and recruiting. You got a lot of these experienced people who are leaving agencies because, they don't appreciate it or not getting credit for it, because there's a lot of good officers out there. And then when you enforce something like this, you even have a lot of officers leaving that agency and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate both of your perspectives. This is such a hard time for America and how they view their own safety and how they view the men and women who keep them safe. So thank you both. I hope you'll come back again.